Senator Butler.
Here.
Senator Figurs. Senator Gudger. Senator Hatcher. Senator Hovey.
Here.
Senator Price. Senator Shellnut. Senator Smitherman.
Yes.
Senator Stutz.
Here.
Senator Chastain.
Here.
Quorum.
Okay, quorum being established, we'll ask clerk to call the first bill.
HB 351 by Representative Treadaway.
Representative Treadaway, welcome.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the committee. What this bill does simply, the University of Alabama system came to me about a concern of law enforcement, campus police, actually off campus, for example, at Tuscaloosa or UAB in Birmingham. This will allow for the campus police to enter into a mutual aid agreement with the local police about their authority off the campus. There was an issue when UAB was actually at the stadium helping with law enforcement, the UAB football team. So this would clear that up, allow them to have a mutual aid agreement.
Representative Treadaway, would you please turn your mic on there, please? I'm sorry.
I don't have to do that over, do I?
No, you do not. Senator Smitherman.
I move favorable.
Okay, move favorable. Senator Butler seconds. Okay, let's get a new roll.
Senator Butler.
Aye.
Senator Chastain.
Aye.
Senator Figurs. Senator Gudger. Senator Hatcher.
Aye.
Senator Hovey.
Aye.
Senator Price. Senator Shellnut. Senator Smitherman.
Aye.
Senator Stutz.
All right, 6-0, bill given a favorable report. Thank you, Representative Treadaway.
Thank you, members.
Yes, sir. Clerk, let's call the next bill, please.
SB 311 by Senator Kitchens.
Senator Kitchens.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. This bill is something Representative Woods, who's also here, he has been working hard on this issue and came to me. So this is the Senate companion to his House bill. What this does is this exempts students that are transferring into public schools from their report cards, from the school's report cards, the A through F grading system, for a period of 3 years. So if they're coming from a non-public school into a public school, it would exempt them for a period of 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Move favorable.
Okay, Senator Smitherman moves favorable. Senator Hatcher seconds. Any objection to the previous roll? Seeing none. 6-0, bill given a favorable report. Thank you, Senator Kitchens. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
members
sir.
of the committee.
Okay, that's, clerk, call the next bill.
Senate Bill 165 by Senator Smitherman.
Senator Smitherman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill deals with the due process procedures for students and for the people who've been here longer than the last 2 years. Know that we've been working for about 5 years to try to get this bill just right to all parties. And yay, we've reached that pinnacle after 5 years of giving and taking and putting and trying to shape and get it shaped. We did. And I have in my hand a sub.
Yes, sir.
So that the sub mirrors 188. Representative Collins has been working with me vigorously trying to get it done. And we have it right in that particular bill. We decided to just focus, since that one was before that committee, to get it right. And we were able to do that. The bill has come out of the House and very favorable. So we're taking that substitute in that bill just favorable to that particular body and making it a substitute of my bill. So it'll mirror her bill. And then whichever one time lets us pass, we'll pass hers. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. All right. Your motion to adopt the sub.
Yes.
Senator Butler, second. Senator Hovey, okay, sub is adopted, okay. Any other questions for the bill sponsor? Senator, I want to say this, I appreciate the work that you've done. You know, I know you've worked hard. It's been a passion of yours for several years. And you and Representative Collins have worked together along with others in the education groups to get this to a place where, you know, we feel like we can move forward with the bill. So appreciate your hard work, your diligence there.
And thank you very much for working with us. You've done a yeoman's job. Thank you.
All right. Move for favorable. Senator Butler. And Senator Hovey, okay. Any objection to using previous roll? Okay, 6-0. Senator Smitherman, will given a favorable report.
That's the adoption of the sub, I think. Right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. We're on the bill.
Yes, sir. Move in favor.
Okay. previous? Seeing none, so the sub's given favorable.
Thank you, members, and
Yes,
thank you,
sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, let's call the next bill.
HB 330 by Representative Woods.
Welcome Representative Woods.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, greetings from the lower chamber.
Always.
Thank you.
Sir, this bill provides additional transparency regarding funds that make their way from countries of concern to universities in our state. Whether those funds be sent directly from a foreign government, an entity with ties to a foreign government, or an official or individual who resides in a foreign country of concern. A foreign country of concern, as we're discussing in this bill, are countries such as China, Russia, Iran, and others that are identified by the U.S. Department of State. This bill does not require any additional reporting than what's already being required under two different federal laws. It would simply mirror those reports being sent to the chairs of the Education Policy Committee in both the House and Senate, as well as the Governor's Office. This will allow the policymaking and appropriating body for the state to have the same information in regards to potential conflicts of interest and national security concerns that the federal government is currently requiring. I also have an ask for an amendment if at the appropriate time.
Okay, have an amendment?
Mr.
Yes,
Chairman,
sir.
I do have that amendment I'd like to
Okay.
offer, and it
Okay.
simply adds the state of Qatar to the listing.
Okay, all right. Motion, got a second?
Second.
Senator Smitherman. Previous roll. Okay, we've adopted the sub, now we're on the bill.
Yes, sir. If there's any further questions.
Any other questions for the sponsor of the bill? Senator Hatcher's favorable, Senator Stutz.
What about, not just financial, but the number of students that are attending from any of those countries? Is that reported anywhere?
Within this bill, I do not know that that is required to be reported. Matter of fact, tuition and student housing expenses are excluded from this bill. This would be more like, funding for research and development, programming, things of that nature. But it's very possible, I'm sure the university has to supply us with that information. They've been very collaborative. I should have mentioned that earlier. Higher ed weighed in on this bill. All the larger universities who actually do receive foreign funding have been very collaborative and willing to provide this.
I'm just thinking if they're paying tuition, that would be useful information as well.
I agree.
Okay,
Thank you.
have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Mr. Smitherman seconds. All right, any objection with the previous roll for the bill, passage of the bill? Okay, seeing none, 6-0. Representative, your bill's given a favorable report.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you. Okay, before we move to the next bill, a couple of groups I want to recognize. I think we have several school board members from AASB in attendance this morning. Thank you for taking time from your schedule to be here with us today. We always welcome you to our Ed Policy Committee. Also, the superintendents from the State Superintendents Association. Thank you for attending, and we always appreciate you, and thank you for the work that you do for our school. We appreciate your work. Thank you. Okay, we'll ask the clerk to call the next bill.
HB 188 by Representative Collins.
Welcome, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate it. We had a lot of discussion just a minute ago. Senator Smitherman and I have been working on this bill for quite a while. I think you've really discussed most of it. It would allow Alabama to have a due process for students, and I think that's important. I'm happy.
You have an amendment? Do you have an
There
amendment?
is an amendment
Okay.
for this bill.
Okay, Senator Smitherman, you make a motion on the amendment.
I make a motion to adopt the amendment.
Have a second? Okay, Senator Hovey seconds the amendment. The objection to the previous roll? Okay, the amendment is adopted. Okay, now we're, okay, and, again, I'll tell you, I know you and Senator Smitherman have worked long and hard on this, so thank you for the work that you put into this, and, we'll try to get the bill out of committee and onto the floor. All right, thank you. Senator Smitherman.
I just wanted, she know I've told her semi-public, but I want to tell you, thank you very much for your help, your hard work.
Motion?
So moved.
Second, Senator Butler. All right. We'll use previous roll without objection. Okay, thank you, Representative Collins.
Thank you, committee.
Okay. I was also also notified that we also have some class members with us today, so I didn't want to overlook those. So thank you all for, thank you, Mr. Wilson, for calling that to my attention. Okay, we're going to move into our public hearing at this time, but at this time I'll ask Senator Barfoot to come up and talk about his bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. So 6 years I've been here, and this is the first time I believe I've ever had the opportunity to speak to this committee. So I'm appreciative of that opportunity. And as I look around, I'm in awe of all the folks who are here who are supporting children and their ability to participate in athletic events throughout the state. So I'm thankful for that, thankful for their involvement, what I anticipate their involvement. This bill, in essence, is what I refer to as an interplay bill. Currently, we have independent schools who are not able to play Alabama High School Athletic Association schools that are right down the road. While in fact, those Alabama High School Athletic Association same schools can travel to Mississippi, to Florida, to Georgia, or Tennessee to play other schools. It is not uncommon for a smaller independent school, it's not a member of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, for example, to have to drive an hour and a half, sometimes longer, to find somebody to play when they've passed multiple schools along the way. This is not a mandate. I know many of y'all understand that I am not an advocate, or rarely an advocate, for mandates. This is, in fact, gives the local schools the ability to sign off on whether or not they wish to play a member or a school that is not a member of the Alabama High School Athletic Association. So I would encourage you, we have a comment sometimes up here, and sometimes it's said in jest, that this is just a bill to help the children and the farmers. This is truly a bill to help the children. And it is amazing to me that there would be any pushback, because it is an opportunity, again, not a mandate, but rather an opportunity for those children to play other children, K through 12, junior high and high school kids that are most likely in the same community that they go to church with, and give them an opportunity to engage in athletic competition. You know, when you think about, for instance, the girls volleyball team, having to drive an hour and a half on a Tuesday or a Thursday, play a game or match, drive back an hour and a half, 2 hours. We talk about what that does with parents. Some of them can't attend those meets or games or matches because of the distance that they have to travel. We think about the late hours that the student athletes are putting in, and how that may affect them in school. It seems to be fairly reasonable that we would give the opportunity for those local schools to participate against independent schools.
Thanks, Senator Barfoot. We will go into the public hearing at this time, and then we'll have the sponsor back up for questions at the end. Senator Smith.
At some point, I'd like to be recognized.
You will be recognized. Okay. All right, we have 3 proponents and 1 opponent, okay? So we'll give 2 minutes each to each of those that are speaking. Who's the first one? Yeah, we'll do the proponents first, and then we'll do the opponent at the end.
Michael McClendon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. First of all, thank you guys so much for the work you do for education in this state. It means so much to so many people, and you're 2/3 of the way through, I think. So you're almost home. So congratulations. This bill is about the kids. This bill is very similar to legislation that was passed in Georgia in 2016. In Georgia, there are 3 private school associations that operate, and of course, the Georgia High School Athletic Association. And this bill created opportunity for play among those associations after a similar environmental situation. I don't think any of us have heard or read in the news about, great incidents that occurred after that bill passed or since, and only positive things have come out of that. Because it's about the kids. And I'm sure there was controversy leading up to that, but they got to that point and they moved beyond it. One of the arguments that I hear is about, in reference to, well, why don't all the schools just join Alabama High School Athletic Association? And it's a common practice throughout the country to have multiple associations like in Georgia and like in Alabama. In Alabama, we have the Alabama Independent School Association. We have the Alabama Christian Sports Conference. You'll hear from representatives in a little while. We have the Panhandle Christian Conference, which serves smaller schools in the South, and we have the Alabama Christian Athletic Association as well. So very similar, covering all of the state, hundreds of schools and thousands of students served by that. But the argument is similar to that of a monopoly. I think we could all agree that monopolies aren't good for the health of any market or for any organization to maintain. This would be the equivalent of you saying, well, you should just shop at Walmart. That's where you should buy your goods.
Thank you for your time. Yes, sir.
Please support the bill.
Okay, next up, as a proponent,
Cody Berry.
Hey, how are y'all?
good morning.
My name is Cody Berry. I'm the athletic director at Macon East Academy in Cecil, Alabama. We are currently a member of the Alabama Independent School Association. I have with me today a couple of our junior and senior students to show their support as well. At Macon East specifically, we just want the kids to be able to play. They know everybody in the city and around the city, and they want to play each other. Our softball team just spent $15,000 some odd traveling to Tennessee for hotel rooms. We got back last week. We spent 4 or 5 nights in Tennessee, and that was just for the cost of the team to stay. So that's $15,000 that we could put back into the state of Alabama to grow our state. We have said for many, many years, I know as long as I've been around athletics my entire life, that sports is about creating a unity and not a divide, creating something that people look forward to going to and something that people can enjoy together. And I think that it would be huge for us as a state to allow our kids to do that. And I know that it would be very, very beneficial for us. And I believe for many schools in our association who are smaller, who have several different programs that can, go 10 minutes up the road to play on a Tuesday night instead of what we did last night when we got home at 11:30 because we drove an hour and 45 minutes to work.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and the last proponent,
Mike Long.
Well, I'm the state commissioner for the Alabama Christian Sports Conference. We've been around since 2007. We represent really the entire state of Alabama. It's not just a homeschool program that a lot of people think that we also have some private schools that are making the application to that and have come in at certain times. But one of the issues that we have does kind of link around the homeschool thing is we don't understand why the state of Alabama High School Association plays the Mid-South homeschool out of Mississippi. Why would you allow those programs to participate against the Alabama schools and not within the state, homeschool programs within the state? Our programs, I want to say this about it, is that it's our eligibility requirements and everything are based on the Alabama High School and the Alabama Independent School Association. All of our kids in the Alabama Christian Sports Conference would be eligible to play at their regional or their area public schools. They would all be eligible. There's no one there that would not be eligible that's playing for our teams. We monitor that very closely. So that was one thing we wanted. I'm going to run out of time here. It's going to be the shortest talk I have. But anyway, I'm a Bubba Scott fan. I'm a Kentucky boy that played basketball in Kentucky and came down and coached in 1976, a little small private school. that was our schedule. I know that what some of the issues were back then, but it worked. What I didn't actually understand, the quick story, is that you had classifications, Alabama.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Last, proponent, and then we'll get to the opponent.
Letman Hall.
How y'all doing this morning?
Good morning.
Thank you, committee, for being here. We're bringing representation from Valley Cross Academy. And what we want to do is, what we want to do this morning is we really just want to just bring before you how important it is for community cohesion. When you get a chance to play against schools that's close, the rivalry really, really brings the community together. That's a big deal for these kids to get a chance to play against the kids that they grew up with, the kids that they played together with coming up, the kids that go to church with. Those are big, big situations that really bring the community together. Also want to talk about academic focus. When you talk about traveling 2-3 hours sometimes to go play a game, getting kids out 1 to 2 hours. We always talk about the student athlete. We want to put the kids out at the same time. And if you're playing closer, then the kids can finish their day at school and now get a chance to play their game as well. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the financial situation. Parents have to travel, had to get off work early, had to spend money on gas, going different places. A lot of times they choose not to go. So now I'm a child, and my parent is not in the stands because I can't play the school next door. So I just believe that playing closely will improve in all of those areas. And the biggest beneficial to all of those will be the children, the parents, and the schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Okay, we'll have the opponent that has signed up to speak, and then since we've had 4 proponents, I'll give you a couple more minutes there. Mr., which calls next? The opponent.
Luke Hallmark.
Thank you, committee, for having us here today. I am Luke Hallmark. I've been in education for 41 years. I've been a coach, teacher. I think I've done a little bit of everything. I've been superintendent for the past 24 years, and we do appreciate everything that y'all have done for us. I've been on the High School Athletic Association board for 16 years, served as chairman, and I've been vice chairman. Before I get started too far, I do want to mention that we travel a long ways too. I mean, we have schools that travel an hour and a half and 2 hours during the week, as well as AISA schools. So it's not just their schools that have to travel long distances. I know we have schools, I have 3 little small 1A schools that have to travel easily an hour and a half to play a baseball game and then come back home and go to school the next day. You know, also before I get started, I'd like for those that are representing High School Athletic Association here today, if they would just raise your hand. You can see how many we got here today, and we have a lot across the hall as well. But I would like to ask that you vote against the Senate Bill 82. This allows our member schools to continue writing the rules of the association. Voting against it would continue to allow our member schools to write the rules of our association. Our association has always welcomed schools to apply for membership. Never once have we turned down a school's membership. And we have many AISA schools that are members of the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Recently, I think it was back in the fall, we offered a plan for the AISA to join, and we would look at creating a separate championship for smaller private schools. They went back and met, and they voted this down. Our association has also changed with times. We merged with the Alabama Interscholastic Association to create and form one association. As you remember, the Alabama Interscholastic Association was a black association, and we merged with them to create one association because we wanted to move past separation of schools and athletics. And it has been very much a successful merger. There are over 50 private schools that have joined our association, and none have left. They appear all to be happy. One thing I do want to mention is they are competitive. When they join our association, they are competitive. They learn to compete, they go by our rules, and they have won many state championships. So it's not like they join and they play against maybe better competition. They have adjusted. Matter of fact, I think last year we brought in two, a Tuscaloosa Academy and I can't think of the other one, but Tuscaloosa Academy has been extremely competitive in the High School Athletic Association. There are concerns with cross-play. One is the eligibility. There are rules that are different for their eligibility and our eligibility. Recruitment. I do, even at my age, I still officiate basketball games and baseball games. And I do umpire AISA games. And I was at a game the other day and was talking to one of the AISA coaches at first base. And I said, I hear y'all are interested maybe in joining the High School Athletic Association. He said, yeah, but I don't think we're going to be able to get in. He said, I don't think they're going to let us in. I said, why would they not do that? He said, because we recruit. And the High School Athletic Association doesn't. And he thinks that would be a barrier. One other thing that I have some concerns about would be cross-play would allow AISA schools to kind of pick and choose who they want to play. Instead of it being a set-up schedule, they could kind of pick who they want to play. And we feel like that would be an unfair advantage. The next 2 years for the High School Athletic Association, we have already met and established our classifications, especially for football. Same way for AISA. I noticed that they've already put together their schedule for this fall. So, that could be somewhat of a concern for both, associations. I've asked myself, why not join? Why not AISA join our association? Well, it may be competition. Maybe that some of the smaller schools may think they cannot compete.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
I thought I was going to get a little bit extended time.
You did.
Can I say one thing in closing?
Last comment.
All right, and I'll say this. Why would I think they should join competition? Revenue sharing, no dues, recognition of the schools of their athletes, our television, our championship programs, the major colleges that come to our school, and scheduling. They wouldn't have a scheduling problem. As far as travel is universal. It's going to be with us. I do want to thank you for our time, and I do want you to consider that we do not vote for Senate Bill 82. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate your time. Senator Barfoot.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee. I want to thank Mr. Hallmark for the recognition that this also benefits high school athletic schools, association schools in their travel. That by being able to compete against independent schools, they wouldn't have to travel as much. So I'm appreciative of that. I will say that, again, this is not a mandate. This is an opportunity to the extent that Mr. Hallmark made reference to they would be able to cherry pick who they wanted to play. Absolutely not the case that local school could choose to play. For instance, a Pike Road could choose to play Macon East, which is in my district, and thank you all for being here. Pike Road could choose to play or not against Valiant Cross. Wonderful school, and thank you for doing what you're doing here in Montgomery. Thank y'all for being here, Coach. And then as far as recruiting, let's just be honest. Put the hay down where it is. To say that public schools don't recruit is just not a fact. And so that cuts both ways. Unfortunately, I think a lot of times parents put more in athletics than they should, as opposed to academics. But the recruiting proposition certainly goes both ways. I don't think anybody here would disagree with that. I ask you to give this bill a favorable report. Again, not because of me, not because of the Alabama Independent School Association, but out of fairness, which is a word and a term that we use quite regularly around here, and we throw it around like it means nothing. But truly, out of fairness, for those children who are having to drive hours to get to a match or competition, for the parents who are having to haul them back and forth, or as Coach said, for unity among the community, when you have children playing other children that they grow up with, they go to church with, now they get to play in sports with them. So I'd ask for a favorable bill.
Okay, we have some comments requested from some of the committee members. Hang on, Senator Barfoot. Senator Smithman.
I don't have any question what I do, I would like to be recognized.
You recognize.
So you want to understand during the time that I'm gonna be talking? Okay, I didn't wanna put you on that kind of situation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I had a chance to witness and see the inner workings of the process, first of all, of these two associations when they merged, when he was, Mr. Raise your hand? Yeah, when he was talking about that. The orchestra of that, one of the two orchestras was Coach Willie Scoggins. And Coach Willie Scoggins was the coach at Ramsey High School. I was there, my son was actually attended back in the early 80s. And Ramsey has been one of those schools. To follow what he's saying further, this is my 44th year coaching. I coach boys basketball at Ramsey High School. In fact, I and two other people, we restarted the girls program there. The girls program, and as a result of that, we won 4 state championships. But the girls program was a club program when I first went to Ramsey. We were not in any association. And he is right when he says about how they work with you to be certified and to be a member of the organization. We went through the process. We became certified. We had to do the same thing with the baseball there as well. Now, I said that in that aspect, just to say this, is that it is true what he said about what they work with different schools to make sure that they are able to become a member. The several points I want to stress. The second thing, I keep hearing about this traveling. Let me start out by saying this year we played, I think we played Park Crossing, that's down here in Montgomery. We went to Sparkman and had to play Sparkman in Huntsville. And you said, why are you saying that? Yes, we're in Birmingham and you got everybody around. There are a lot of schools, but it's unfortunate, but when you a top 10 program for about the last 15 to 20 years in basketball and have been a top 5 for about 5 or 6. In fact, we went to the state, you lost in our sounds. But people won't play you. People won't play you. That's why we go to Huntsville. That's why we go to Mobile. We go there, play. So you're not gonna cut this traveling. That traveling is a moot conversation. Because we have to travel to go everywhere to play everybody. And because we have schools there that I hate to say it like this, they just don't want to get waxed. They just don't. We respect that, but that's the case. The next thing I like to say is that in the situation in terms of traveling again, and we just talking about sports, Ramsey does not have a football field. Every day, 40-something kids get on the bus at 4 o'clock. They go all the way across town to Lawson Field in the 5 o'clock traffic. If y'all know 459 going out of Birmingham, it sits there. Those kids have to get on that bus, they have to go there and practice, and then when they leave practice at 7 or whatever time it is, they have to get on those buses, go back to the school, take all the equipment off, then go home and get their lesson. And if you know anything about Ramsey High School, it's they offer AP, IP, honors, STEM. They don't offer regular classes, and you have to test to get into school. If you don't maintain a 2.5, they send you back to your neighborhood school. So some of the hardest academic standards there is, and these kids do it on a daily basis. They've been doing it for years. So that's but the one thing that I'll say, athletics is voluntary. If you don't want your child traveling like that, then shouldn't participate in athletics if that's going to be a hindrance. So I had to say that because there's been so much to do about travel. You got to travel to play folks if other folks won't play you. So this is that I'm gonna do anything about traveling whatsoever about addressing whether folks got to go somewhere or not. The next thing I want to say is that as we look at our situation, when we talk about the schools, is that we have an established association, number one. They're not a state agency. We have no business going in there telling these folks that they gotta do this or do that when they are not a state agency. We don't have them in the budget. We don't do anything like that. So we shouldn't be meddling with that organization. If the other people want another organization, then fine. They just called out 4 or 5 of them. But for us to be meddling in what they're trying to do in organization, and it's an open window that they can come and be a member of it, then and I'm not trying to take people from other organizations. I'm just saying that it's a free organization. Nobody's denying people that. We are definitely wrong if we gonna stick our hands in there because of the reasons that were said, and I won't relive them or support them either way. So I'm just saying that I am totally against this bill, and I'm against it to a level of whatever I need to do procedurally to make sure this bill does not become law. I'm gonna do it. I'm saying it now because leave them alone. Leave them alone. They don't do that. We can't micromanage other people's business just because we have the power and authority to do something. Shouldn't be doing it because some people have a right problem that they want to do it a different way. And so they come to us and we're going to make an independent organization do what they want to do. And they can be a member of it. So I just want to say that vigorously that I'm vigorously against them trying to micromanage this organization. And I'm voting no, and I hope the bill does not become law. Thank you.
Thanks, Senator Goodman. Senator Barfoot, do you have any closing comments?
If I could, real quick, I'm appreciative of Senator Smitherman. He and I just left an hour plus long committee meeting in there. I understand he's passionate about it. I just want to correct one thing. I believe the Alabama High School Athletic Association is mentioned some 19 times in the Code of Alabama, and I believe the staff members are recipients of part of the retirement systems of Alabama. So to the extent, yes, we do have authority over them because we give benefits to them, and if the proposition is that they do not want to be a part of the RSA, then maybe we should consider that as well. Thank you.
Yeah, Senator Stutz, recognize.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to make a couple of comments. First, I'm fully supportive of this bill. It's an option. It's not a mandate, and just simply gives them the option. And I've been on both sides of the issue. When our children attended a private Christian school that joined the High School Athletic Association during the course of our children being involved in the school. And prior to that, the travel issue was huge. I mean, we had a very competitive sports program, but traveled from North Alabama. We traveled as far away as some teams in Kentucky to play, and that was a major issue, and drove right by a lot of schools that were not allowed to play us. And the school has since joined the High School Athletic Association and has been very competitive and won some championships. But again, this bill doesn't require anybody to play anybody. It just gives them the option of doing it. And before our school joined the Athletic Association, to have been able to play schools in our surrounding area would have just enhanced the athletic experience for the students to get to play against their friends in the community, and opened up competition within the community. And I'm 100% for it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Senator Stutz. Any other comments from Senator Hatcher?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess I'm a little confused. On the one hand, I start with the position where children are concerned, do no harm. And I was listening very carefully to when Senator Smitherman mentioned that the association is not the whole notion of how we are getting into what is not our territory. Let me use that for lack of a better expression. But then I'm hearing Senator Stutz mention that the bill, in essence, provides an option. And I'm thinking, if it's an option, why are we here? Why is it before our committee? That is a question that I would need answered. I I did hear, I believe, the gentleman, Mr. Hallmark, say, did I get your name correct? People normally mess up my Greek name. You mentioned, of the list of things you mentioned near the end, the thing that stuck out for me was when you mentioned fees, I think, to join the association. Because for me, I'm always trying to figure out, ultimately, if we're trying to resolve a problem, I need to know what is the reason associated with the problem before we try to get to a point of fixing the problem. Because typically what ends up happening is, my grandma would say, we end up fixing it so nobody else can fix it. And I think at the end of the day, what I absolutely support is the idea of our young people having an opportunity to interact with each other. And I think athletics has provided a wonderful tool for that. But I am really confused to the point of almost abstaining because I do not know what our role is in this. And I did hear my colleague, Senator Barfoot, mention the pieces that I think connect in terms of our responsibility as a body, working with a state agency. But it really does sound like that we are kind of pushing the association to address the option. So is there a way, Senator Barfoot, that we can clarify that, at least at some point of helping me to look further into this? Barfoot, you recommend?
Mr. Chair, thank you. Senator Hatcher, I hope I'm able to answer your question. It is not a mandate. It gives the Alabama High School Athletic Association members, their schools, the ability, should that school choose to play a non-member, it gives them that ability. If Carver High School doesn't want to play in a volleyball game against a non-member, they don't have to. Strictly up to them. Just a choice. It's a choice at the local level in that school. It's just that they would not be prohibited from making that choice. So a lot of times we talk about government at the local level is the best. I would submit to you that those decisions at the local school level of the local community, giving them the opportunity to make that choice to play a crosstown would-be natural rival in volleyball, baseball, wrestling, whatever it may be, that local school, both schools mutually would have to agree. It's not the independent school that can mandate or force the Alabama High School Athletic Association member school to play them, nor vice versa. It's just giving them that opportunity to communicate with each other, to decide what's best in the interest of the children, and go to that school.
If I can follow up, Mr. Hallmark come back up, please. Is it Mr. Hallmark?
Mr. Hallmark?
Yes.
Would you answer your question, please?
And thank you again and your association for being here. You heard Senator Barfoot. My question directly to you is, so what would prohibit the association from, or somehow deter the association from at least allowing the children to play who are not a part of the association? Is that kind of clear? Because I'm just trying to understand, why are we having this discussion if, in fact, what I'm hearing here?
Well, one reason is that we play member schools only. They're not a member of our association.
That's the first thing.
Yes.
Member.
Second would be rules. Their rules would be different than ours. Third, I think they're talking about, if my son lived next door to your son, that doesn't guarantee that we would play against each other. My son went to High School Athletic Association school, yours went to AISA school. That wouldn't guarantee they play against each other because of size.
Let me interrupt you. I get that part. Okay. But I think the two things you just mentioned a moment ago, because the third part gets us into the weeds.
Okay.
Right? It's the member and the rules. That is a piece that you're saying would absolutely prevent, non-association members from being able to play each other.
Yes. And playing a non-member school, it would not count towards a tiebreaker rule. You know, it had to be like a member school for it to count in the tie-breaking process of our member schools as well.
Is there some sort of liability factor in this for the association for a non-member school?
We don't play any non-member schools. It would be like if we went to, I guess, like Georgia or that has a school that is a member of their state association, and we played them, it wouldn't count in the record. It would just be a game. It'd be the same way if we played non-member schools in Alabama, it wouldn't count in any kind of tiebreaker process.
So if you're playing a school in Mississippi, they're part of the general association that.
We play a school in Mississippi, they have to be a member of the state association. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That answer your question, Senator Hatcher. Senator Barfoot, did you have a comment?
Feel like I'm in a courtroom. Listen, Mr. Hallmark knows more about this than I ever will. I'll give him that. But it seems to me to boil it down to those schools in Alabama have the freedom to go across state lines and play non-Alabama High School Athletic Association schools. They don't count towards their record. May even count against them because they're not playing an accredited Alabama school. They make that decision. And under this bill, they would be able to make the decision to play a school 5 miles down the road. They don't have to. They just get that opportunity, should they desire. I'm gonna sit down unless the committee has other questions. I'm gonna try my best not to raise my hand and come back up here.
Thanks, sir. Senator Smith, you're recognized once again.
And thank you. In all due respect to my chairman, and I think he knows that, we count our record this morning, it was 5-1.
I think
Been
so.
a yellow 5 and out on 1. But the essence is not a matter even of what he just said. The essence is that this organization has the right to govern themselves. We ain't talking about somebody got a right to go play another school. We talking about the organization itself. And now we want to stick our hands in there and we want to run the organization. And that's wrong. I'm just telling you point blank, that's wrong. And I support their independent autonomy to run that organization as it please. Y'all know how I feel about people having an opportunity. If they'll allow people to be able to join that organization, they want to play those teams and be join that organization. They can join that organization, play those teams, and they'll play the set of teams that they said are close by them as well. So I just wanted to say that in closing that once again I vigorously oppose this. Thank you.
Thanks, Senator. Again, I want to thank all those who attended this morning. Thank you for your comments. And do I hear a motion for favor?
So moved.
Senator Stutz, second. I'll second. Let's do a roll call.
Senator Butler? No. Senator Figurs? Senator Gudger? Senator Hatcher? Senator Hovey?
No.
Senator Price? Senator Shelnutt? Senator Smitherman? Senator Stutz?
Aye.
Senator Chastain?
Aye. Okay. We have 2 favorable, 3 opposed, 1 abstention. The bill does not get a favorable vote. Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Committee.
Committee members, thank you again. We appreciate you being here. And for those of you that had to wait for us to get started, thank you for your patience. And we are adjourned.